What's cooking, Jay?
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us again on my channel. Today we're starting a little series for Easter. We have a traditional hot cross bun with a twist. We're also going to have another video with a chocolate hot cross bun with protein added to it, so it's healthy for you. And we're making a Milchbrot, that's what it's called in Austrian. It's a brioche loaf with orange and almonds. The Jewish people call it challah. So, but now we're starting the traditional hot cross buns. Now the twist will be we're not using sultanas, we're using cranberries, and we're adding some sourdough, white sourdough starter to make it a bit healthier. All right, so just let's see what we're using. The ingredients are 500 grams of all-purpose plain flour. Then we have got 150 grams of chopped cranberries, 50 grams of butter. We have got 70 grams of caster sugar and zest of 1 orange, 2 grams of salt, 1 egg, 10 grams of dry yeast. Then we've got a spice mix, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Then we have 1/4 teaspoon of clove, ginger, nutmeg and cardamom. And here we have got 300 grams of lukewarm milk. And we're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of organic vanilla and 20 grams of sourdough starter, active sourdough starter. All right. So the first thing we do is we add the spice mix to the flour, and we're giving it a good mix. It's always better to use mix the spices in with the flour because they're mixed much more even. All right, so when this is done, we're gonna add the yeast, the salt, and the sugar with the orange peel or zest, and 1 heaped teaspoon of the active sourdough starter to our warm milk. You can use a teaspoon, or you can use, I prefer to use the whisk because everything just dissolves easier. All right. We also add a 1/2 teaspoon of the vanilla essence. That's, in this case, it's organic vanilla essence, which is lovely. All right. After this, we just wait until it has dissolved. So next, we take out the mixing bowl. The flour goes in. The egg goes in. And our liquid goes in. We're putting it back into the mixer. Attach the hook. Now we're putting it on slow, letting it run on slow for 2 minutes until most of the flour has mixed in well into the liquid. And then we slowly increase the speed. Okay, and now the flour is all mixed in. Now we're adding the butter. It's soft butter. Let it run on slow for 2 or 3 minutes, and then steadily increase the speed. And really knead out the dough for about 7 to 8 minutes. And in the last 2 minutes, we add in the cranberries. Now, as you can see, that's about 7-8 minutes later, the dough is coming loose from the bowl. So now we're stopping it, and we're gonna add the cranberries bit by bit. Okay. Just let it run for a couple of minutes and then we'll take it out of the machine. And turn it off and down. Dust your fingers. It's quite a soft dough, but it makes it nice, fluffy buns. So I put a bit of flour on our bench. Here we go, beautiful. Take the dough scraper and just get it out. No waste. And then we're just folding it over a bit. Firming up the dough, the structure of the dough, get a bit of firmness to it, and put it in the bowl. Dust it a bit with flour, and I put some. You can put some a tea towel on top, but I prefer to put a bit of glad wrap on top, and let it sit on the bench for about half an hour. Then we give it a fold, another half an hour, and then we put it into bowls and let it rise. All right. While we're waiting for the dough to rise, we're preparing the cross, the paste for the cross really. So what we've got is 80 grams of plain flour and 80 grams of water. We're also going to use a splash of olive oil. So let's just mix the flour and the water and really only a tiny bit of olive oil to make it a bit softer, not as doughy. And we just mix it up to a paste. The important part about the paste is you make it early enough so it can sit and it can relax, and then you can nicely pipe it. So the paste is all done. And we're going to put it into a little lunch bag. And we cut the ends off, and I'll show you that later. So let's just put it into that little bag. There we go. So do this and try to get the air out of it. And close it up. Done. So the dough has nicely risen. So let's just take it out. And one. So now I just let it sit again for another half an hour, and then we form it into the buns. All right, okie dokie, let's make them into bowls. Beautifully risen. Get it out of the bowl. What we're going to do is just weigh it first. it's 1.2 kilo, so that makes it 100 gram each. So we put it into 100 gram bowls. Ha, perfect. God, as if you have done it before. All right, so now we're forming it into bowls. The way you form the balls is just pull the outside to the back, pull the outside to the back, pull the outside to the back. Then it comes out like that. And then you just make a hand with some flour, a hand like a claw, and roll it. Roll it like this until it turns into a ball. And then it's like that. All right, let's put it into the dish. We put rows of 4 and rows of 3. Okay. And then we cover it with glass wrap. And they will more than double in size before we put them in the oven. All right, so the buns have risen really well. Now we take the glass wrap off and we are putting the crust on top. So take the bag, cut a tiny little corner off, and then just basically turn it into a piping bag. So just go slowly from one. So as a bit of special treat, we put a little bit of cinnamon sugar on top of the crust. Okay, so now the oven is preheated to 165 degrees and we will bake the hot cross buns for 20 minutes. Okay, the alarm has just gone off. Had it on 22 minutes and let's see what they're like. Very hot. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so the buns have cooled down a bit, so let's turn them out. So just be careful so you don't burn yourself. Put this over here. Take the dish off. Alright, and then we take another rack and turn them upside down. Here we go. Looking beautiful. Now, they're still quite warm. So now before we try them, we let them cool down a bit more, but we make them nice and shiny. So the options are now you can make a sugar syrup, or what I do is I just use some jam. I've got here the homemade kumquat jam, or you can use marmalade or apricot jam, whatever takes your fancy. So we just warmed it up a bit in the microwave and we give it a bit of a glaze. And this is going to be nice and drying up when the bun's cooling down. Here we go. Okay, it's time to try those little beauties. So let's just... Oh, nice. Look at the texture, how fluffy they are. And everything tastes better with butter. So now it's what we were waiting for, tasting them. Beautiful. Very light, very moist, beautiful. I think you can eat several of those. Give it a go, try them. Try to copy it exactly like I did it, and I'm sure you will be successful.